Right, I want us to get into, of course, the Niger conversation and just take a look at some of the facts of Niger. Starting off, of course, we want to take a look at what's the capital city of Niger, that is Niamey. The area is 1,267,000 square kilometers. The population is around 24.4 million people. The main languages in that particular country is French, Arabic, and a lot of local languages. The life expectancy for men is 60 years and for women is 62 years. Now, the current president, or the deposed president, was Mohamed Bazoum, who was elected in 2021 but currently deposed. And now the current leader at the moment is General Abdurrahmane Chiani, who is the leader from of course, the army that has now taken over in Niger. Moving on now, we want to just take a look at the key events in Niger. In 1890s, that's when France began to colonize the area, that is Niger. And then now in 1904, military territory of Niger was created at that particular time. Then in 1922, Niger becomes a colony with French West Africa. Of course, that's one of the main reasons why they actually do speak French. Moving on now, in 1958, Niger became an autonomous. That means standing by itself within the French community. Let's just take a look at what, of course, continued after it became an autonomous state. 1960, it fully now becomes independent as a one-party civilian regime. And the first president for Niger was Hamani Diori, who became the president but passed on early the late 1980s. Now, between 1974 and 1991, the first military regime was there. And of course, with time, the army gradually lost its control over political developments in the country. 1991, there was a multi-party elections held, and this, of course, led to a civilian rule. Between 1990 and 1995, there was the Tuareg rebellion, which were fighting, of course, for independence in the northern Niger. There are a lot of locals in this particular area, and they have been in conflicts between each other in Niger. Now, between 1996 to 1999, the military, of course, intervened to take power again. So as you can see, it's back and forth with the civilian rule and the military rule. Between 1999 to 2009, there was civilian rule, of course, now that was officially restored. Between 2010 to 2011, military carried out another coup d'etat in response to attempt by the president of that time to extend his political term by modifying the constitution. In 2010, a new constitution was now born and designed to restore civilian rule, which was approved in a referendum. Now, from there, of course, in 2011, the civilian rule was restored and Mamadou Issoufou became president. And of course, he made sure that he stayed within the term limit, that is the 2-term limit that he was supposed to stay in according to the new constitution. Now, in 2015, there was another attempted coup that failed to overthrow, of course, President Issoufou. That is President Mamadou Issoufou. In 2021, though, there was another attempted coup. So as you can see, there are a lot of attempted coups in Niger, and this was, of course, ahead of the swearing in of the newly elected president that time, who was Mohamed Bazoum, who now is deposed. Now, 2023, of course, what is currently happening in late July, we've seen the military coup overthrows civilian government and deposes President Bazoum. So let's just take a look at these specific leaders. We want to focus on the current president, or the deposed president rather, that is Mohamed Bazoum and Abdurrahmane Chiani. First, of course, we take a look at President Mohamed Bazoum. He served as the 10th president of Niger from 2021 to 2023. He was the former president of the Nigerian Party for Democracy and Socialism. Now, between 2011 to 2016, he was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and in 2016, he was the Minister of State for Interior. 2021, of course, he won the presidency with 55.67% of the vote against, of course, the former president, that is Mahamane Osman. Of course, President Mohamed Bazoum comes from a minority ethnic community, that is the Arabs in Niger. And of course, this is one of the issues that apparently is coming out of this current coup. Moving on now to the current coup leader, that is Abdurrahmane Chiani. He's also known as Omar Chiani. He's a Nigerian Army Brigade General. And currently, of course, he was, up until this point of the military coup, he was a commander of the Nigerian Presidential Guard since 2011. He was promoted to this particular role actually in 2018 by the former president, that is Mamadou Issoufou. Of course, now other things happened through this, and in 2015 there was alleged involvement of him in a coup attempt, according to a lot of the local media outlets in Niger. Now, what is currently happening, of course, he has proclaimed himself as the president of the National Council of the Safeguard of the Homeland. So, of course, those are just some of the details about what's currently happening there, and some of the leaders, including that coup d'etat that is currently happening there, that has caused a lot of issues, of course, in Niger. And as you know, that Niger is one of the countries that